Back in 2012, a woman I knew in my parish was talking to me about IVC. She was doing her second year, and she told me a little bit about what it involved and how it involved both service and a spiritual component and support from the group. And I was interested in that. I had been retired 2 years at that point and wasn't really doing anything particular with my time and beginning to feel like I needed something more meaningful to do. So I heard there was going to be an informational session about IVC right down here at the West Pine. And I came to that and I heard more about it, both from the director of IVC and from the volunteers about what they were doing. And it sounded to me like this was something that appealed to me and something where I could make a difference.
The value is the association with the Jesuits, with the people that volunteer, and with the kids that I work with. It has brought me to a different spiritual level. Before that, I think I've told everyone that I used to read nothing but business books. So I got over that, and so this has given a new direction to my life, spiritual life. But it's awesome meeting together with other people of a mindset that we are. You know, my longevity, 7 years, going on 8 years, I think what's responsible for it is the structure, that there is a place to go to, a place I know I'm needed, and a place that really reflects my values. I do a lot of work in the parish, in the ministries, in our parish, but this IVC is probably the most important thing in my retirement life.
I believe that IVC offers a complete volunteer experience, which is what I was searching for. Community, reflection, service. And that's the whole reason why I continue to serve at IVC.
I'm Kevin Cullen, and my role with IVC was that I was the Missouri Province Pastoral and International Assistant at the time in which Father Tim McMahon, the provincial, was interested in growing IVC in our province. I was invited to bring together a group of people who would help found IVC in St. Louis. And because of the generosity of people like Dale and Tom Offenberg, Mary and Tom Hastings, Judy Nedwig, and Catholic Charities, Joan Smith, we were able to found IVC here in St. Louis. The call was to really deepen with people in their own spiritual lives, but also to integrate that spiritual life with service and the ability to live that in the community where they are, to be able to engage, especially the poor and the needs of the community around them.
It's something that enriches me, it's something that feeds me, it's something that brings me to life. I'm 84 years old, I'm a vital 84, and one thing that keeps me alive and keeps me young is precisely this sort of thing. Because as I listen to people, whether it's in the confessional or whether it's just casual chit-chat or whether it's reflecting an IVC program, as I listen to people, I am always amazed at the presence of Jesus Christ in them and in their experience. So it's uplifting for me, and I hope for them.
I think IVC is probably one of the most important programs that bring people in touch with the poor that the church has had. And for 10 years, IVC's been doing that. What Pope Francis is calling us to be in this environment of anger and hate and fear, he's asking us to be merciful. He's asking us to be forgiving. He's asking us to reconcile with each other. And I think that's what IVC is all about. When I do my reflector job, I love this job. I mean, I take it very seriously, because I think it's a moment in time that somehow God is touching our heart through our relationship, through our exposing ourselves to the danger, to the discomfort, to the growing, to the change that we all really do want, but we are a little afraid to step out there too far.
I continue to be involved in IVC, and I think there are 3 words: faith, hope, and love. I think the first, with faith, IVC was sort of a springboard to help me with my faith in ways that I never expected. My fellow IVC members are a means of hope. We live in a world today that is very disheartening with all the anger and hatred, but through our meetings and listening to what other people do and their sharing, I have hope that maybe small acts of kindness will help us to live in a better world. IVC has become an integral part of my life. I was very fortunate that I've tried to convince my husband many things and usually fail. But with IVC, he saw me come home, and 2 years later when he retired, he also joined IVC. So now it's a shared part of our life. I think that throughout our young adult life, we're encouraged to pursue careers, and so much of our career life is trying to achieve, and it becomes about us and not about others. But I think IVC keeps encouraging us to think of others, that it's about you and not about me. So it's just helped me grow, and it's become part of the journey in this part of my life.
IVC has taught me how to love more. I can fall in love with all these 60 or 70 children. I've fallen in love with my fellow IVC members. They are such a marvelous group, telling such marvelous tales in our monthly meetings. They are just, it's love.
I really enjoy watching people grow. And I can see growth here. And I can see people willing to go deeper. I can see people willing to look at themselves in a way they might not have looked at themselves before. And that's wonderful. And then I always say too, when people say something about spiritual direction, I say, I get a chance to watch God at work. And that's really quite good. God does good work.
I help them explore their experience of service and help them to discover God in that experience, whether it's in just like a God moment in a conversation with somebody, or in the person that they're serving, and also in themselves.
Our Ladies In really enjoys having the Ignatian Volunteers be part of our mission, because not only do they bring a wealth of experience in terms of their life experiences, but they also bring a humility. Ignatian volunteers seem to be drawn to the program because of the spiritual aspect. So we just find that even though they may have been an attorney or an engineer, they are willing to roll up their sleeves and do whatever needs to be done in terms of helping out at the shelter. And we're very impressed by the humility of the volunteers that come to Our Ladies In.
A lot of the volunteers that come to our school are through a faith-based organization of some kind, but as with any group, like the Vincentian volunteers have a certain charism, the Loretto volunteers have a certain charism, and with the Ignatian volunteers, it really resonates with me personally as a sister of St. Joseph, because our charism is so based on Ignatian spirituality, so that finding God in everything is very relevant and prevalent, to just jump in with whatever task is there and to know that there is prayer behind it, to be able to see God in the students, to see God in their families, to see God in the staff members, to see God in whatever crazy task the volunteers are asked to do and so graciously take on. So it really is just an awesome way to be part of something, when you come with that, where is God in this framework?
It's a Jesuit inspired program, and St. Louis University is a Jesuit school, and we both value community service and working with the poor as a growth of our spiritual development of our students, and IVC does that with the volunteers. And so we really both, I think, share a common bond with a faith that promotes justice. One of the great benefits of having an IVC volunteer working on campus, not only does he help the campus kitchen achieve its mission of feeding the hungry and helping with food sustainability, but our other volunteers, our college students, are able to have a role model to look up to as a person that's retired but is continuing to live that Jesuit mission and continuing to serve and to volunteer. It's a great inspiration and a great model for our students, that they can learn that service isn't just something you do in your spare time or while you're in college, but it's really a way of life and a vocation that you can continue throughout your lifetime.